Okay, good morning, everybody. We're here today because of a job that came over this morning at about 0700 hours. Two anti-terrorist officers from the Transit Bureau, Police Officer Saduz Saman and Hardeep Sim, were on patrol in the Fulton Street station, and they were approached by a passenger who alerted them to the fact that there was a package on the platform. The officers responded over and called in for more resources, and that's where the job went as of now. Both turned out to be rice cookers. There were actually two, one on the mezzanine and one on the platform. They're both just empty rice cookers at this time. In addition to that, we had one additional job that may or may not be related up on 16th Street and 7th Avenue. That came in about 10 after 8 this morning as a suspicious package. It was an additional rice cooker that was put out with the garbage, and that was also found to be just an empty rice cooker. Okay, with that, I'm going to introduce the chairman of the MTA, Pat Foy. Pat?
Thank you, Chief. I'm going to be brief. We're obviously at the corner of John and William. We apologize to our customers for the disruption. I want to thank the NYPD for the quick and effective response. I also want to thank, on behalf of Andy Byford and I, the transit workers union members who responded as they always do in crisis. I was joined this morning by Ronnie Hakem, the managing director of the MTA, Andy Byford, New York City Transit President, Sally Librera, Executive Vice President of Subways, Barry Greenblatt, and Chief Monahan from the MTA Police. I'm going to ask Andy to run through the timeline.
Sure. Okay, good morning, everyone. Well, as you heard from the Chief De La Torre, this was a serious incident, and we took it very seriously. As soon as our Rail Control Center was advised of this incident, namely, as the Chief said, at around 7 o'clock, 0700, that there had been these two suspicious packages found on the 2-3 platform here at Fulton Street, we immediately, acting upon police advice and putting safety first for our customers, we immediately suspended service on line 2 and 3, and we commenced bypassing services on the other lines. As ever, we always put safety first. So the police advice was that the service on lines 2 and 3 was to remain suspended. It did so. We evacuated staff out of the stations, and we immediately set about providing information via every medium possible, namely Twitter, through our website, through announcements on trains, to let customers know that until further notice, Fulton Street Station would not be served. In other words, services, all lines through Fulton Street, trains would not be stopping. We got the all clear to resume stopping at Fulton Street on all lines except the 2-3 at 0848. And as of right now, that remains the case. All of the lines are stopping at Fulton Street, except for the 2-3, which is still suspended, non-stopping rather, still bypassing through the station while the police conduct their scenes of crime investigation. We did have two trains that we had to deal with when that call first came through from the police that there was the issue on the 2-3 platform. We had two trains to deal with. So again, acting quickly, and I would credit my staff with their professionalism. We had one train to evacuate at Fulton Street. That was done in orderly fashion. It was done quickly. Customers were taken off the train and evacuated to street level. We had one other train that had to be taken back to Wall Street. But again, there were no injuries. It was done calmly and it was done professionally. So like the chairman, I would like to thank our employees for the professional way that they dealt with this incident. I would also like to commend New York Police Department for the professional way they immediately identified this as an issue and the way they calmly went about dealing with the incident and bringing in the bomb squad to make sure that our customers, New Yorkers, were kept safe. I guess one of my messages would be, this just shows the benefit of everyone working together. We have around 6 million riders on the subway every day, and that's 6 million pairs of eyes and ears. Between us, if we work together, if you see something, say something, we can keep New York safe. So that's where we are, that's the timeline. Began around 7 o'clock. Initially only impacted the lines 2 and 3, rapidly progressed to bypassing the other lines. We've now got all the other lines back. 0848, 2-3 remain bypassing through this station.
Take a couple of questions.
Commissioner John Miller. Commissioner John Miller will respond.
So we reviewed the video at the scene. We do see male white between 20s and 30s with dark hair and a shopping cart. He places the pressure cooker on the upper level and then on the lower level. So there's a person of interest. Obviously, we'd like to speak to this person. I would stop very short of calling him a suspect, because right now because of the time, rush hour, the place, a subway station, the items, rice cookers that could be mistaken for pressure cookers. It certainly is the kind of thing that we would want to know, why is he placing them there and what is the purpose of that. So we've put that photo out to our officers on the idea that if he is somebody they recognize, we'd like to stop him. We'll probably release that to you all to get that out to the public to speed up the process. Again, not a suspect, but certainly somebody we want to interview.
Could he be charged in his case?
Yes. If you saw this photo and you knew him, you'd know him.
Could he be charged with a crime potentially, even though nothing happened?
Well, because of the timing and the placement and the items, we're carrying this right now as a hoax device. That's the investigative category. But again, we would have to identify him, find him, talk to him, because we need more information from him. As you all know, there are people with shopping carts who pick up things on the street and put them back down on the street, and that's kind of a fact of urban life. But we need to identify the individual and talk to him.
Can you talk more about the building that we've heard about the subway station, about some of the buildings surrounding it were evacuated as well? What was the protocol for that? Why was it done? How was it?
That's our routine.
That's part of our routine assessment and procedure at the scene. We talk to the bomb squad and we say, what do you want to work with here in terms of that? And they give us kind of the parameters of the space they want, and it's fluid because it's going to be different in every situation depending on what does that block look like, what does that corner look like, but it's standard.
But was the concern just that grave potential?
I think they were still assessing it. Right now what we have is we have 3 empty rice cookers that obviously 2 of them are connected. The third one may be.
Sorry?
Clarify how many buildings were evacuated?
We can get that for you. I don't have it now.
Are people being let back in?
Yeah, we're all back in business.
So everything's all back to normal in the subway system and the neighborhood,
Well,
everything?
everything's back to normal except for the 2-3 line. We're still holding that only to process the scene.
And we expect that service to resume
That should
shortly.
be very short.
Yeah.
Mr. Miller, when you look at the tape, does it appear as though it is a deliberate act or somebody that put something down and was distracted on their phone?
He takes the pressure cooker out of the shopping cart, he places it on the ground, and then he does that again. So I don't know what the deliberate act is, whether it was to create fear and alarm on the part of the public, or whether he was discarding items that he was no longer interested in. To get there, we're going to have to identify him and interview him, which I'm confident we will. By and large, though, I think what you see here is a system that worked. Counterterrorism patrol in the subway system, where they're supposed to be, alert public, coming together, assessing the scene. Bomb squad got here very quickly, was able to go through their procedures and determine that these items were not a physical threat. We mirrored that response on 16th Street with a separate bomb squad team while this team continued their job here. This is a part of life when you see items like that. If you recall, and I know you all do because we were all there together, we had a bomb go off in the subway on December 11th, 2017. Mass transit has been a global target. As you recall, we had 2 bombs in Chelsea, one of which detonated, both of which were in pressure cookers. So in context, people know what they're looking for. They're swift to alert police. The counterterrorism team was there doing their job, and the MTA and the Transit Authority seamlessly connected all of that, stopped trains, evacuated people. Looking back on it, it was harmless, but looking forward on it, everybody did what they were supposed to do, and this went how it was supposed to go.
Are you looking at video now in Chelsea to make sure
Yes.
that this same person didn't throw out the rice cooker in the garbage there?
Yes. You'll have a photo shortly?
Putting it out to you. John,
Okay.
if the rice cooker man would like to come in and tell his story, what do you suggest he do? How does he approach? Where does he go?
He should approach a police officer. Most police officers, you know, we send this out to their phones, so they have this photo, they know the information already. Again, he's not a suspect, but we need to know the facts behind this, so we're going to have to do an interview.
The two rice cookers, are they the same brand that they knew?
The two rice cookers here and the rice cooker on 6th Avenue are the same make, year, and model.
Oh, they're all the same make?
Yeah. So it is possible that somebody put out a bunch of items in the trash today and this guy picked them up and then discarded them. Or it's possible that this was an intentional act. We've got a few steps left to go.
Does this show if this individual, what his point of origin was of his departure? Was it off the train and go back on a train, or how did he
Yeah, so we've got video of the actual kind of instance as it occurs, but we're going to have to go back through video and forward through video to figure out where does he come from, where does he go from there. But that's it. We'll get back to you all with that image when we have the right one to release. We're going to find the best one that the public would recognize this individual on. Again, not a suspect, just a person of interest we'd like to talk to. And thanks for your help today.